Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abdul Rahman Siddiqui, and I am an English teacher at the New York City Department of Education. I recently came across this video called Why Go to School? It was by this man that I had not heard of before, and in it, he raises some questions. He talks about why we should go to school when our schooling doesn't necessarily give us an education, when what we learn in school is not applicable in real life, when it seems that we are learning for tests that don't actually test our knowledge but how well we memorized lessons, when we will leave knowing how to factor trinomials and the importance of mitochondria, but not the importance of how to file your taxes or open a bank account. As a teacher, I would like to assure you, his criticisms are completely true. The education system is broken, and there are a lot of people who suffer because of it. So at that point, you might ask me, why, as a teacher, do you still teach when you believe the system is broken? Why are you currently going to college to get a doctoral degree that actually focuses on this system? Why are you taking part in a system that you don't believe is perfect? Do you not ask yourself every single day, why go to school? And the answer is yes, I do ask myself every single day, why go to school? In order to understand why education doesn't work, you kind of have to look at what society really was like a couple of years ago. I'm not talking that long ago, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Back then, you would get one job. You would stay in that job forever. You might switch companies, but you were doing the same thing over and over. It was easy to learn. It was easy to teach. That was how a lot of us learned. That is how a lot of us teach. But those were different times. Now, that doesn't happen. Today, any information you get is going to be outdated in 1 year max. Any new social media platform that comes out is going to lose its popularity if it doesn't change and redefine itself. Anything you learn is going to be old before you can really use it. So at that point, when I sincerely believe that, once again, I have to ask myself, why go to school? Every single day, I go to school and I see my students. I cherish them, I adore them, I care for them, and yet it is incredibly infuriating. A lot of times I see students who do not live to their potential. I see students who do not recognize what horrible things await them in life if they don't take the opportunity to do well right now, who sincerely believe that why should they take part in a testing system that doesn't test their actual knowledge, which is another thing that is perfectly true. I see that every single day. And yet, I still go to school. But I ask myself, why go to school? When you're a first-year teacher, certainly you might think, oh, it's easy. That's why I'm doing it. I get out earlier than my friends. I get a nice pension. I get a stable paycheck. I can get tenure and then I can't get fired. Once again, you might ask yourself, why go to school and come up with all these horrible responses? That is wrong. I guarantee you, until you've seen in your first year of teaching a student that you really care about attempt to commit suicide, you recognize this job is not easy. So anyone who thinks it is, this profession is not for you because you are not caring for your students like you need to. So again, you might ask of me as a teacher who believes all of these problems exist within the system, why go to school? And the answer is simple. Because if we are in a bad system, then we need more people who actually try to make it good. If we are in a system where tests don't test your knowledge, then we need to actually show students what is knowledge. Now at this point, I'm going to ask you a question. You may have asked me several times already, why go to school? I'm going to ask you a question. When was the last time You raised your hand and actually asked the teacher that you didn't understand something. Could they please go over it again? When was the last time you got a problem that you didn't understand and you decided to go on YouTube and look up an answer? When was the last time you actually Googled, how am I going to do this in real life? The answer, if you'd found it, would have probably been, you're never ever going to use Shakespeare in your real life. You're never going to use trinomials in your real life. But that wasn't supposed to be the lesson. The lesson was learning how to look up an answer. Because teachers that give you the answer, teachers that immediately mark an answer wrong just because you didn't phrase it the way they said it, those teachers are making a mistake. But you're also making a mistake by letting them do that. You're making a mistake by giving them that opportunity to put down that X on your paper. What you need to be able to do is look up answers on your own. Because I guarantee you, teachers are probably the last people in this world that will just give you an answer if you ask for it. Everywhere else in this world, you have to learn to find an answer on your own. So maybe those teachers are working with lesson plans that are 40 years old. But guess what? That means the solutions are 40 years old. That means the solutions are easy to find. That means you should be able to find them on your own. And that is not how life is. You are going to come across problem after problem after problem for which you will have to search for solution after solution after solution. And you are not going to find it. Because those problems will be new. Those solutions will not already be somewhere to find. So at that point, you need to ask yourself, why go to school? And again, the answer is simple. Because school doesn't have all the answers. But school does have teachers who care. School does have people that can put you on the right path to finding the answer. The answer has to come from you. Your answer will not always be the same as my answer. But the next time you're talking about mitochondria being useless and how you need to learn how to open up a bank account, don't ask your teacher how to open up a bank account. Ask them, where can I look to find out how to open up a bank account on my own? Because believe me when I say this, if you don't look at your teacher as a teacher and look at them as a guide, many more doors will open. And the sad reality is, teachers will be amongst the last guides you ever get in your life. That is why I, as a teacher, go to school. This is Pakistani Pepper saying good night and stay peppery. And don't forget, sometimes life's best lessons are in the stories we hear least. Have an awesome day, guys.